Tell us your name again.
Thank you. I'm Rusty Bowers, a fourth-generation Arizonan, born over here in Prescott and raised a bit up in Chino Valley. Used to come across and come cool off on the Verde River when I was a little boy back in the late 50s. My dad coached at Prescott High School. And my mother is a singer, and we had a little farm and sheep. And so for any of you who have sheep, I feel sorry for you. I am a father, a small businessman. I'm a sculptor and painter by profession, and which has always thrown people, when I served in the legislature, they thought, sculptor, painter, liberal. And as the sculptor, painter, conservative, and that always kept people thinking, what's going on? I served from 92 to 2001, 4 years in the House and 5 years in the Senate. Some of the things that we worked on that were important to you, and you mentioned some, the buildup of the rocks, etc. here in your creek. I work with the Arizona Rock Products industry. Hanson Aggregate Materials over by the plant in Parkdale, they're members, as is the plant. And we have, as a group, tried to address those needs for communities that do not have the ability to get in and remove that material. We can mine it out and then leave it in a contour that is usable by the community. We're using that model on the Agua Fria River for 33 miles through the valley. And that's a way that solves taxpayers' debts and demands, and yet allows communities to do what they need to do themselves. And now, why is that important? Because as a legislator, I always try to establish the principles, not just the issue. That if we established a firm set of principles, and that they were the principles that our Constitution was based under, and that we all accept as being true and valid and generally applicable, that we could pour problems through the principles and come out with win-wins and good results for everybody. And I have a reputation for doing that, and I invite you to look on our little website, rustycountry.com, to tell you a little bit more about it. I have 4 Eagle Scout sons, and they have a bald eagle dad, and one of them is here with us. My wife and I have worked for 28 years in the Boy Scouts as part of our little community service. I've served then in the legislature, and I do, as I mentioned, I do sculpture, bronze, and have a degree in watercolor. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 286 values that underline, discrete values that underline the Constitution. And those have been ignored. And now we see a country that just, it's like a boat in one of your flood events. It just bounces around. Whoever is in, they start throwing money at this or that or the other. And that money now is so huge that each of our children and all of us in this room, including unfunded liabilities, have in excess of $300,000 in debt to our federal government alone. There's no difference in that than us being indentured servants. And we must stop the profligacy and the spending. And we also must stop trying to solve every problem for everybody. When you said that you're a kind of a do-it-yourself community, that is a virtue. Yes, there are outside demands and needs that sometimes are bigger than you. When FEMA starts arguing with you about your flood and insurance maps, and you have to have somebody who knows FEMA. I do. And how to work those problems through. And those are real, and you can't do those here because the insurance companies are elsewhere. So I'm aware of that. And how much time do I have, Virginia?
You're out.
Thank you.
Finish up.
Just, I'd like you to examine my website and be sure and listen to all of us, and you have a big job tonight to make this decision. Thanks.